morning, Santa Clarita. Welcome to SCV Today. I'm Tammy Edwards.
And I'm Dave Caldwell. And of course, SCV Today is brought to you now by 211 Enterprises. We certainly appreciate everything that they do.
Which is, 211 Enterprises, which is comprised of so many wonderful companies. You got Smile Sciences,
right.
LA Racing, Blitz It, Brain Twisters. They're just an amazing company.
Yeah, and of course we obviously thank them for their support, because without them we can't come into your living room and talk to you about things that are going on. So welcome to the program. We've got a very good show today, and as soon as we finish doing what we do, we're going to bring on Scott Wilk, the Republican candidate. Look at her smile. Look at the Republican over here smiling. The Republican candidate for the 38th Assembly District, and we had Ed Headington on last week, and now in all fairness,
I'll smile for him too.
Boy, was that forced.
It wasn't.
That is forced for the Democrat.
That's a nice guy.
He is a very nice guy. He's a very good
You're
guy.
spitting.
I guess I'm getting fired up about this, huh? This Democrat-Republican stuff. Well, it's an interesting season. I mean, the political season, it's about to really get going. Next month, the conventions are going to go. Chris the other day says, what goes on in the conventions? I said, it's basically a big excuse for people to go party.
Yeah.
And that's really bottom line, because we all know who's going to be the candidates and everything, but that's really what it is all about.
Yeah, speaking of party, I had a little party on Saturday.
Okay.
I was a bad girl. Trixie came out on Saturday.
Segue into Trixie's...
You said party and I just went there.
Go ahead, tell me about Saturday night.
It wasn't Saturday night, it was Saturday day.
Oh, Saturday day.
Yeah, so Billy, my youngest, his good friend Zach Beliveau had his 12th birthday, and his parents decided to have it down at the beach and just invited just a ton of people.
Right.
So we all went down there, and it was so much fun. But they were serving vodka and Kool-Aid.
Jeez.
Like I'm in high school again, right? Not that I did that in high school, but oops.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
So we vodka and Kool-Aid.
Wow.
I don't even remember coming home.
Really?
Literally. I do not remember coming home.
Wow. We need to find video.
I remember walking into my bedroom and going plop on my face in my bed and woke up 2.5 hours later.
Wow.
Now you have to understand, I'm always within reason. I'm 2 drink max.
How do you know that you were within reason when you don't remember?
Well, no, because I do always remember. I always stop. And
I'm sure Jason was there, and he's...
Okay, as we know, I'm a control freak. And so when you drink, you lose control. So I don't ever overdrink. I always try to keep it within reason. But we were out there in the sun, and it was like just kind of one of those. So I think the sun really played a role in it.
Yeah.
And
I think that certainly helps.
Oh my God, it was crazy. It was crazy. Wow. Oh, and Jason, of course, loved it. He thinks it's hysterical.
Well, yeah, that's entertainment for him.
Plop. I remember in the bed.
Well, at least you remember that part. Also on the program today, we are going to have Carla Edwards. She is with the Citrus Classic Balloon Festival. This is coming up this weekend. It's a huge balloon festival, wine tasting, just this big event down in Santa Paula that she's going to be on, and she's going to show us some highlights from years past and talk about what's going to happen this weekend. And I don't know about you. I mean, it's always been, okay, I learned to fly airplanes about 20-some years ago, actually. Actually, first started out of Buckley International Guard Base. Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a second. I've never been in a balloon, and I've always wanted to go up in a balloon. So when I saw this, and I was able to get in touch with Carla, and I thought, we got to get her on. We got to talk about this.
Yeah, you were very passionate about it.
Oh, yeah.
People don't realize there's a lot of planning that goes into the show, and we were planning weeks ahead. But you saw this balloon festival, and you were like,
a month or two ago.
Yeah, you're like, I got to get into this.
That's been on my desk. It's been sitting on my desk for the last couple of months. So
when you see, because Carla has the same last name as myself, when you see someone has the same last name as yourself, do you think, oh, I wonder if we're related?
Absolutely.
But if you go back years and years and years and years.
Sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. If I ever see a Caldwell, or if I see, like I get excited when I look at the map and I see Caldwell, Idaho. I go, hey, there's a connection there. I could go there and I could own that town. Caldwell, New Jersey. There's East Caldwell, New Jersey. Uh-huh. Not that I've researched these things or anything like that. I just happen to just know these things. But
Dave, you're so funny.
But it obviously always crosses my mind.
Yeah.
Bobby Caldwell, the singer. Mm-hmm. We're brothers. We have to be.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, there's my maiden name is Tetreault.
Right.
Tetreault.
Right.
So it's an interesting name. I'm not. I don't meet that many people named Tatro.
French?
French.
Yeah.
I am French.
Oui, oui.
And
why you like the Lashem so
you
much,
wouldn't know
everybody.
it by my sunburn that I got this weekend, but that's the Irish in me coming out.
Yeah.
But there is actually a Tatro family up in Stevenson Ranch too. I know.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
See, that's such an unusual name. So when you saw that, you had to have been thinking, you know, my cousins.
There's got to be some kind of a relation.
Yeah.
It's the gentleman's name was the first name of my father who passed away. It's the exact same name.
Now that's a little bit
Yeah.
too. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
I know one thing. I know that when my cousin Charlene did some research on our family, and we go back to Kentucky. Most of the Caldwells from my family are in Iowa and the Midwest area. And my great-grandfather, who I was named for, was born in 1848. I was the last born of the last born of the last born. So there's like a huge gap. So yes, my great-grandfather was born in 1848 in Kentucky. So we can kind of trace it back pretty far.
Speaking of names,
Yeah.
I have something.
Yes. Finally. Look, I'm going to give a little insight. We have been wanting to do this quite literally. Tammy has had this for the last 3 weeks in her lap. And finally,
have.
Yes.
At the Ivy Day Spa, it was in my chair.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I've had it.
Yeah, okay.
So Austin, who's our, he's our connection with what's hip and what's going on in the world, because you and I are a little bit older. So he started telling us about Urban Dictionary. Well, you're right. I put myself in there.
You did. That's why I was like,
I'm
I'm
41
excited.
now. I'm not
I
a
know.
young pup.
I'm
So-
just a little older.
So he explained Urban Dictionary to us. So we thought it'd be fun to look up our names.
Yeah.
So I found something very interesting under the name Dave. You ready?
You know, I'm concerned, so I'm ready. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to get in trouble, but I'm saying it. Okay. Dave, the model of perfect.
I think we need to be on me. So yeah, go ahead. Say that one again.
Dave, the model of perfect. No man can come close to the glory of that which is Dave. Daves are artistic and funny, always knowing how to lay down a good massage.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Skills that come with Dave include major dexterity in all matters and extensions of limbs and the whatnot.
The what?
The whatnot. The extension of the whatnot. Take it where you want. Okay.
Oh, I've taken it all right.
You ready? Oh, jeez. That didn't
Not
sound
like that.
That was bad.
So you don't have to worry about getting in trouble. I think I just took that bullet for you.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Daves have the largest units, brains, and balls. Don't mess with Dave.
I mean, this is out of the Urban Dictionary, so therefore it has to be true.
Baseballs, right?
What?
It sounds right.
Largest baseballs?
I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah,
do I get to
no,
read
what's the
Tammy's, or are you going to read Tammy? You go ahead. You want me to read Tammy's?
Just
You
read
can
number one. But don't say the word.
Number one. You know what? I'm not going to read number one.
Yeah, it's a good
No,
one.
because that's what you want.
Okay.
All right, I'll read number one. Tammy, where am I? Oh, yes, good. You look in the camera. A kick-ass girl who won't take any.
Say that word.
I wasn't going to say the next one. We've already determined we can say a donkey type of mule.
Okay.
Isn't that what we're talking about?
Okay, go ahead and say it. Say it again.
A kick-bottom girl. It's more PG. Who won't take any from anyone.
Oh my God.
Oh, wait, we can't say that one. What? Did I do something wrong?
Ladies
Well,
and
you-
gentlemen,
you-
thank you for tuning in.
Listen, all I do is she says
Next week I'll be working at Burger King.
Wendy's.
Wendy's.
Yeah, we're going to work at Wendy's. No, I mean, look, I do what every good man does and just listen to the woman who's next to him, tell him what to do.
You mean you went out and you blame me for it?
No, you said read the first one, so I read the first one.
But I said, but to leave the bad words out.
Would you like me to read the first one again?
No.
You know I will.
No.
Would you like me to read any others?
You better remember to bleep that out.
Do what now?
Bleep it when you
What
edit.
what was wrong?
You
Did I do
can't
something?
say SH
Oh.
it.
Whew.
You can't say that.
Shiite? Never mind.
Okay.
Should I read this one, though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I think I know someone who wrote this. That's all I'm saying.
This may be the person.
I think I know who went on Urban Dictionary and wrote this.
Just go on. Let's get a good shot of Tammy here, because this is coming from the heart from someone. The girl I hurt really badly, whom I wish I didn't because I'm still in love with her. Tammy is the sweetest and smartest girl I know, and she was the one for me. I miss you, Tammy, and I still love you.
I know who you are.
That could be a long list of guys. Brandon Harris is over there going, it's me, it's me.
I like this one. To live life totally rocked out in love with Jesus.
There you go.
That's me.
Well, your message, you do say, have a blessed day. So
This
you're
one's
on
funny. Tammy, one who thinks she is the best, who thinks she deserves the center of attention, and thinks no one gets her game, but everyone does.
I am Tammy. Nothing I do is wrong, it says. So you got in there. You got to, what you wrote is in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Scott Wilk, the Republican candidate for the 38th Congressional District, is Assembly District. He's going to be with us, so stay tuned.
Scratch Golf Accelerated, Santa Clarita's unique indoor golf training and fun center. We have great programs for kids and adults of all levels. Rain or shine, we're here to improve your golf game and have fun doing it.
It's great to practice with just the girls at Scratch.
We enjoy playing in the adult league at night. It's a great time.
And they make it so much fun for the kids too.
We love Scratch!
Come see us at Scratch.
An old knee injury used to keep me from enjoying the things I love most. Dr. Barraza has completely changed my life.
I never thought going to a chiropractor could make me pitch better, but it has. It's kind of my little secret.
What I do has proven to increase your quality of life naturally, without any drugs or surgery. Vertical Wellness, where your health and well-being is my business.
Welcome back to SCV Today, and I want to just kind of jump right into things because we have joining us now Scott Wilk, the Republican nominee for the 38th Assembly District. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you, Dave. Tammy.
We are obviously wanting to make certain that we're getting as much information so that we can all make as an informed decision as we possibly can when the election comes in November. Ed Headington was on last week, and now obviously it's going to be your turn, and we're very happy to have you on.
He had more comfortable setting than I do. So
what are you saying?
Make note of that.
What are you saying?
He was in a day spa. I heard he got a massage afterwards.
He did.
Oh, God.
Wow. Very good.
He didn't.
No, didn't he get it from you? Isn't that one of your gifts?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, well, good. That's good, Scott. That's very good. Can we focus on the issues and not on my gifts, per se?
So you're saying you did? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just going off of what you said of my gifts that I have that Scott was so gracious to point out.
Yes, I know.
There are many.
There are many. See, I like this guy very much already. All right, you're a Republican. She's Republican. I'm independent. We talked about that while we were in a break.
And I'm an independent Republican.
Now, see, that's where I was going with this. You said that. You're an independent Republican. And I said, what the heck does that mean? Please explain what that means.
Yeah. You know, what happens in Sacramento far too often is people get elected and then they toe the party line. So like when I go up there, because I sit on the College of the Canyons Board of Trustees, and I'll go up there to advocate on community college issues, and I'll meet with a legislator. And the first question the legislator will ask me, what's the caucus position? I don't think that's right. I think you ought to read the bills and know what they say, and then decide what is best for your district, not what's best for the caucus. I mean, I think that's part of the problem up in Sacramento.
Now, and when Edwards was with us, he had stated that he's the better candidate because we are a more of a Democratic state, and that he would be listened to more because of his party alignment. What is your reaction to that?
He'll actually be listened to less, and because he states that he's moderate. He has no record, so we don't really know if he's moderate or not. But if you have a Democrat win a safe Republican seat, all that will do is encourage the loony left even more. He'll absolutely have no voice. He'll be completely emasculated. What we need to have more Republicans up there to be a counterbalance, so you have a legislature that's actually accountable. Because right now it's just so Democrat that they do whatever they want to do with no repercussions. So actually, a vote for Ed's a vote for bad government, even though he's a good guy. He'll add to the problem.
Now, you, as an independent Republican, as a self-professed, I should say, independent Republican, does that mean that you would be in a better position to listen to the Democrats and also to be heard by the Democratic-controlled assembly?
Yeah, look, everything in life is about relationships, and I'm already doing that. I was selected, not Ed Headington, to be part of a group called the California Leadership Institute, and it's groups in Sacramento that realize it's dysfunctional, and it's being funded by major corporations like Edison and Chevron and the building trade, so labor unions, but in the private sector. And what they did is they selected candidates, both Republican and Democrat, in open seats because there's going to be so many of us. There's actually, out of the 80-member assembly next December, 45 of us are going to be brand new. So it was to learn issues and process. But what I wanted to go in and start building relationships. So the minute I walked in the first time, I started targeting Democrats. Now I'm building relationships with these people because I have to be able to count to 41 votes because that's what it takes to pass anything. Right now, Assemblyman Smythe's up there with 27 Republicans. But because of the redistricting process, we could go as high as 34, which means you just need to pick off seven Democrats. And I think there's enough moderate Democrats to do that we can actually build a pro-business coalition in the Assembly, and that's what I hope to do.
And what are your biggest issues that you want to tackle here locally for Santa Clarita? What are your main objectives?
For local issues,
give me your top 3 list.
Well, I don't have a top 3 list. I have a top 2 list, and one of them I'm not sure how we do it. Obviously, the CEMEX mine, it'd be the largest aggregate mine in the country. It will devastate us not only, obviously economically because of what it's going to do to the I-14 freeway, but also in terms of the environment, both water and air. But because of the federal preemption issue, I've not yet been able to find a nexus between Sacramento and that project. I've met with Assemblyman Smythe, I've met with City. I'm going to meet with the Natural Resources Committee up there to see what we can do. What we can do, if it does go, continue, is that I can use the full weight of my office to stay on top of those regulatory agencies that have to monitor CEMEX to make sure that they stay in compliance at all times. If you go on YouTube and you put in CEMEX, you'll hear a lot of horror stories from people who live next to their mines. So that's that. The other one is the chloride issue, which doesn't get a lot of play, but it's going to cost us anywhere in this local ratepayers anywhere from $250 to $500 million to build a treatment plant and then do a brine line 35 miles outside of the valley. And the problem with the whole chloride issue, we didn't cause it. Sacramento caused it because they've never built the canal to convey the water around the delta. So the reason why our salt content is high is because of the water that we import from the State Water Project. So that's one. And then, number 2 on that, I've yet to see any sound science that tells us that the standards that they've set are actually backed by science. Now, if you talk to the farmers, out in Ventura County, particularly avocado and strawberry farmers, they say, oh yeah, the salt content's too high. Then, show us the data.
Right.
And because what's going to happen is it's going to drive up everybody's water rates, and then connection fees to link into the system are going to be astronomical. We will not have any economic growth here at all if what the Water Quality Control Board wants to do to us actually happens.
Now, I'm a neophyte with these things, and I don't fully understand the political process. But when you mention CEMEX and when you mention the chloride issue, those are local issues. You're going to be in Sacramento if you're elected in November. How is it that you can get the entire assembly, the Senate, the governor, to fully understand the implications of this problem, whether it's CEMEX, whether it's a chloride issue, so that as a state, they can take action to rectify it?
Yeah, you have to be an advocate. So that's what it comes down to. It comes down to building relationships and being an advocate. For me, one of the things that I like is I really think I'm the perfect age. I'm 53, so I'm young enough and vigorous enough that I can do it. 2, I'm an empty nester, so I plan to do this 24/7. So,
With the daughter getting married, by the way, we have to give a little plug for that.
next May. So, so yeah, all the college tuitions are paid for. The last big economic hurdle is the wedding, which is next May. Thanks for reminding me.
Well, you know, I had actually, we're going to go off subject because that's just what I do. So I had told Vanessa, her lovely wife, oh my God, love her. But I had told her, I said, you need to offer your daughter the money for a down payment on a home. Forget the wedding. Just do a little something in the backyard and put the money towards a home because the wedding is one day and then it's gone.
We offered that. She said no.
Well, there you go.
Can I have lunch with your daughter? Let me talk to her.
I'll pay for it.
Because once that day's over, you don't even remember it anyway as the bride.
You know what's so funny about her, and it's actually been a blessing to me because it's saved me a lot of money. She is not pretentious at all, and she never got into clothes or anything. But this wedding, all of a sudden, she is like laser focused on it, and it's going down. So I mean, it's going to happen.
She's a doll. Both of your children are just fabulous
Thank
kids. You guys have done a great job, and that's a testament to the people that you guys are.
No, fabulous mother.
Fabulous mother.
No, seriously, incredible mother.
She is. And you know, and something else that I really like about Scott is that you're so approachable. And I have found in politics recently, are you getting choked up?
Yeah, I am. Because of my daughter.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. My baby girl.
Yeah.
I'm the new Barbara Walters. Tissue. You are so approachable. And I love that because I always felt with politics you can never really get near the people that are in charge. I see you everywhere.
You're right.
You're everywhere. You're always an email away, and you respond instantly. And I think that's fantastic.
Well, and honestly, that's how we won. Mm-hmm. Because if you look at my race on paper, I should not have won. Mrs. McKeon should have won. But the reason why we won is because of the relationships we've built. So I've been involved with the COs, College of the Canyons and the foundation, the hospital foundation, Chamber of Commerce. Vanessa's in Seroptimus. All the relationships we built with people in PTA and youth sports when our kids were younger, and people we've gone to church with. I had a prominent person in this community after the campaign was over called me and said, "How did you raise $175,000 without me?" And it's because of relationships. And if you look at our donor list, it looks unlike any other person's donor list because it's people that we have personal relationships with. So thank you.
Do you think that politics are changing? Do you find that it's...
I think it is changing. It's changing because of technology. Mm-hmm. Like my opponents were running the same kind of campaigns you'd run in the 1980s, which is you get the top tier endorsements, mm-hmm. you buy all the slate cards, and you just do direct mail. We had scores of meet and greets. Yeah. I called every single Republican voter in Simi Valley. I did it for almost 8 weeks, 2 to 5 hours a day. Social media, we had unprecedented social media in terms of putting it out there. In fact, there's a liberal blogger in Ventura County. When we said, well, they're going to take any and all questions, he said to his readership, let's see if he's a man of his word. And they started just pummeling me with questions coming from the left, and I answered them all. Now, they may not have liked all my answers, but it was transparent. And I think that's what people are looking for in government. I think they're looking for people who are authentic, transparent, and willing to take a long-term view of our state. That's why we're in so much trouble, because everybody's worried about their next re-election rather than doing what's in the best interest for Californians.
Yeah, well, we'll put your information on our website, scvtoday.com. So if you have any questions for Scott Wilk, you can get to him through our website. And thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Best of luck to you in the election.
And hopefully we'll be able to get you on before November one more time. And kind of expand, because it's always unfortunate we have to cut these things off pretty quick.
Yeah, and then I always go off on weddings and everything else. So. There you go. Welcome to SCV Today. We'll be right back.
In conclusion, our database management solution promises a 23% return in the first year alone.
In conclusion, our database management solution promises a 23% return in the first year alone.
In conclusion, our database management solution promises a 23% return in the first year alone.
Will they remember you? Everything is image, and you need your image on everything. For the most cost-effective solution, visit AmericanLogosForYou.com to put the name you choose on the things you choose. Advertise your company, promote your school, commemorate your family reunion. The possibilities are endless. Visit AmericanLogosForYou.com because everything is image.
I can't grasp why, but Bob's pitch seemed on target somehow.
Right. I can't put my finger on it, but Bob was memorable.
I agree. Bob's pitch made the right impression.
Let's award the contract to Bob then.
Make sure people remember you. Visit AmericanLogosForYou.com because everything is image.
Welcome back to SCV Today, and you know, there's things that we get to do here in the Valley that are a little bit different, and in all of Los Angeles. And we've got something coming up this weekend that I personally, every time, I go back to the Albuquerque Balloon Festival. That started decades ago, but so many balloons, and it's such a beautiful thing to be able to see. And when I saw that we have in our own backyard, our own little balloon festival, 5th annual balloon festival.
You got very excited.
I did. So we now have with us Carla Edwards.
Hi there.
The creator of it's not the Santa Paula Balloon Festival, it is the Citrus Classic
Balloon Festival. Exactly.
Yes. And it is in their 5th year.
5th year, right in your backyard, and the history of the citrus up and down the Highway 126. That kind of gave us the name for the balloons. So 5th year, and we're here to tell you all about the excitement because we can't wait to roll it out. We've got a lot of things planned.
All right, so do people have to get there like bright and early in the morning? Because so many times, I know this just the way balloonists like to pilot their aircraft, they like to get up when the sun comes up. Do we have to get there at 5 o'clock in the morning just to be able to look at all these balloons that are going to be down there?
You can get there early in the morning. We like to say not 5 o'clock. That's maybe too much close to the crack of dawn. But 6:30 is usually the time people aim for so that they can be there holding a cup of coffee in the bright morning sunshine as the balloons are preparing. That's half the fun, is watching how they unfold these silks and they bring these giants to life in the field. So you can choose to arrive there early, but I will tell you the most popular part about the Hot Air Balloon Festival is the evening glow. That is very well attended. That's actually at 8 o'clock in the evening.
What is that, the evening glow?
The evening glow is when the hot air balloons illuminate in the field. They're all together. We have almost 30 hot air balloons there in 8 acres of fields, and they're inflating and illuminating as the sun is setting. It's fantastically beautiful. It's like giant Chinese lanterns on the ground.
Calm down.
But wait, there's more.
Okay.
Because the pilots.
Is that dexterity that I read about in the front?
No, that's, they're thinking of the evening glow.
Over here. Aren't you glad you chose to do our show?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. You've learned so much that you never expected to learn.
I really have learned a lot. So
she's gonna be dating Dave real soon.
Yeah.
Right, we'll have to get your dexterity in the hot air balloon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever it takes.
Help it rise.
You've got balloon pilots and you've got crew chiefs. So you can actually help them rise. You can help them inflate the balloons, lay out the silks.
Nice.
Wow.
So, let me tell you about the evening glow, though.
Let's talk about evening glow because I think I'm going to have an evening glow.
You look
Continue.
like you're getting a little
I
bit
am
of a
feeling
glow.
an evening glow right now.
So when the balloons are inflating, the public, you can come right up to the balloon as close as this. You're feeling the heat from the propane come down. You're seeing the balloon silks inflate. We have sometimes grandparents together with their grandchildren crewing for the balloons. You can actually volunteer to get involved with the balloons and help them come to life. And you're there, you're talking to the pilots. They've been everywhere. They've ballooned in Japan, Turkey, New Mexico, in Mexico itself. Some of them are holding what are called key grab titles from Albuquerque. That's in Albuquerque when 220 balloons fly into a field, and there's a set of keys up on a pole, and whoever grabs that set of keys is the proud new owner of a brand new car, brand new house. So Steve Wilkinson, he's our balloon meister. He's been with us for 6 years now, and he is the record holder of key grabs in Albuquerque.
Wow.
So he runs all our ballooning operations.
So he's got a very large garage.
He has a large garage, and he's got a lot of stories for you.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So in addition to balloons, there's so much more.
And we have more, yes.
Yeah.
The balloons, what's interesting about the balloons is it's almost like, again, sailboats. The balloons are going to lift up in the sky, and they have to deal with the eddies and the wind, and the different layers in the sky of wind are very interesting to learn about. So they're only active in the morning and the evenings. So you go to a balloon festival at 12 o'clock at noon, there are no hot air balloons. The anticipation is building during the day, but we have so much to keep everybody busy. This year, on Friday, the 27th of July, we have our very first Kids Discovery Fest. And what this is the kids will come and see the balloons in the morning. Children 5 and younger can go in their first hot air balloon experience. We have tethered balloons on the ground. That means the balloons will inflate and they'll be held with a cable to the ground, so the kids can get up, go almost 100 feet up in the sky if they'd like to. So they can see the whole valley. You can even see all the way to the shoreline, to the Anacapa Islands out there.
What is the age for that?
5 and younger for
5
free
and younger.
in the hot air
For free?
balloons. Yeah.
Wow.
And the parents, it's just $20 for them to have a hot air balloon experience. If you were to rent a hot air balloon and take a passenger ride, that costs us $220. So this is a way to get your feet wet, see if you love hot air ballooning, and really have a great time with the kids. But they also get to learn about agriculture. Because as we say, we're in your backyard.
Yeah, and that was the other element of things, because in addition to all this, and of course there's wine tasting as well and all that, so to help the day go on and to be able to, you know, have as much wine as you, Trixie, could possibly have. But the agriculture, so is it also educational to try to help inform people of what the area is really all about?
It is. And what we like to say is it's a discovery festival. You never thought you'd find hot air balloons coming to life in your backyard. So that's a great moment of discovery. And we help the local youth look at it and say, wow, I never imagined this would happen. We want to try and ignite passion. No reference to the earlier conversations with names and such, but we want to ignite a sense of discovery, so we try and give them experiences that they haven't had. Agriculture for us is just a wonderful opportunity. We're educating them, and they're having a great time doing it. We are on 8 acres of grass. We're right abutting a citrus ranch that's over 100 years old, so they get to take a tour on Friday of the citrus ranch with a hayride. There are pilots there they can interact with. We have children pilots. There are 14 and 16-year-old balloon pilots.
Wow.
So if you're a 9-year-old and you're coming to our festival and you're talking face-to-face with someone who's only 5 years older, who has their pilot's license and can operate these huge crafts, it's really, really inspiring.
Yeah, it's interesting because you don't have to be a certain age to have a pilot's license, do you?
No, you don't.
So there's not like 16, so you could be a youngster who doesn't even can't legally drive, but you can operate an aircraft.
And these children are amazing.
Yeah.
They are amazing. So we don't let them operate the balloons for passengers at our festival, but they are sharing their experiences as they get it. We have 28 balloonists, and they do come from around the country. So they actually apply to get in, and we don't actually accept everyone. It depends on how many hours they've logged and where they've flown. We have a kind of nice little corridor there, all the way down to the Ventura Beach lines. But
so give us the days again, times, sister.
So
and where exactly? Where too?
Exactly, it is in Santa Paula in Ventura County. So from Santa Clarita, Valencia area in Greater LA, you would travel up the 5 north to the 126 corridor going westbound, and we're actually just the first traffic light. Once you've gotten on the 126 after Fillmore, it's the first traffic light. That's our intersection, and it's 18 to 49 East Telegraph Road, right there in Santa Paula. It's Friday and Saturday, the 27th and 28th of July. Both days we're open from 6:30 in the morning for those who want to come and enjoy the morning experience, all the way up till 11:30 at night. The balloons are active at night from 8 to 9 o'clock, and then we have bands. We have 13 bands of really great concerts from throughout Ventura County. All these bands we have a kids band on Friday for the youth day, and then we also have wine tasting. We have beer tasting. We have what we call cars, trains, and planes and automobiles. We have a car show. All kinds of cars. A lot of people from the Santa Clarita area are participating.
Oh yeah, a lot of car enthusiasts around here.
Train rides. On Saturday, you can come to the Balloon Festival, enjoy the balloons in the morning, and actually take historic train rides on the Fillmore and Western from the Balloon Festival into historic Santa Paula. We have an oil museum there, we have an art museum, we have an agriculture museum, a lot of different things to look at.
And the cost?
And the cost for the train is nothing.
But the cost for the entire festival?
The cost for the entire festival. So if you purchase your tickets in advance, it's $8 adult, $10 at the gate for adult. For children 6 to 14, it's $4 or $5 at the gate. And then children 5 and younger are free.
Very good. And if you need more information about that, of course, our website, scvtoday.com, will be able to direct you to the right website so you can get all that information. We're going to take a break. Thank you very much, Carla, for being here and talking about balloons and getting me excited to get back up in the air again. It's always fun. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Escape reality at the Ivy Day Spa in Valencia. Relax your mind in our tranquil solarium. Unwind during your VIP massage. Rejuvenate with advanced diamond tip microdermabrasion, or choose from a variety of facial treatments. For a unique spa experience, visit the Grotto, where you'll enjoy a full body exfoliating scrub in an exotic setting. Schedule your escape today and receive a 50% discount on a VIP Grotto experience with your next full service treatment at the Ivy Day Spa in Valencia.
I'm Dan Sturkle, General Manager for Nissan of Valencia. If you like your money as much as the next guy, we say hold on to it. Here at Nissan of Valencia, $99 down delivers any new or used vehicle in stock. Hard to believe? Here's our disclosure. Blah, blah, blah. Total from you, $99. Oh, and blah, 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 on approved credit. Bankruptcies, foreclosures, late pays, hey, it's all okay here. We have tons of banks vying for your business. Nissan of Valencia, home to the $99 down delivers. Hope to see you soon.
Welcome back to the program, and of course, the big news over the weekend. We didn't talk about. Well, we touched on your weekend and how Trixie came out, but the big news, of course, over the weekend was the shooting in Colorado, and there is a somewhat local connection where a young man by the name of Jesse Childress, he's from Palmdale, right, was one of the 12 that was killed there, and the way he acted was very heroic. He's a sergeant in the Air Force. Stationed, from the area, he's probably from Buckley Air National Guard Base. That's where he was probably stationed, but he was there in Aurora. And when the shooting began, he jumped in front of one of his fellow service members, and she survived because of his actions, and he did not. And so we really want to tip our cap to his family, and our prayers are with them, of course, as well.
That's just horrifying. And heard the same thing about Rudy Acosta, that he threw himself in the line of fire, and it's just a testament to what our servicemen and women, that they truly will die for us, and it's just amazing. And like you said, our prayers are with all the families.
Absolutely, and of course it brings up the whole gun control debate and things like this, and such a senseless act from a young man who had so much going for him. Apparently, the alleged gunman in all of this had so much going for him. Why he did what he did, of course, all that's we may never know exactly why, but it affected us here over the weekend because obviously the sheriff's department, they were out in force at movie theaters as well. Certainly copycat situations, they wanted to avoid that, and that was the case all over the country.
What are your thoughts on gun control?
I do not understand why someone needs to have an assault rifle to go hunting. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's bottom line is. The Second Amendment, and I absolutely believe in the Constitution all the way around, and our Bill of Rights. And the Second Amendment allows us the right to have guns and to bear arms. It is, though, in my mind, it is somewhat outdated because it was designed for militias to be able to be quickly assembled back in the 1700s. Right. We don't need that anymore. We don't have to have that anymore. And now, of course, the gun control, or excuse me, the gun advocates say guns don't kill people, people do.
Which I agree with that.
It's true.
I agree with that. I mean, I could use my car to kill people, but I don't. I mean, definitely people kill people, but I think that the types of guns that are available to people, I mean, I'm walking a fine line here, but we shouldn't have these automatic weapons and things like that available to the general public. But I mean, I personally, I think I like a handgun. So because there are crazy people out there, and I'm going to protect my family.
There was one person who came forward over the weekend who said that if more people were given the right to carry guns, then that individual may have been taken down before he had killed as many or has shot as many as he did. He shot, as it turns out, he shot 70 people. Just to quickly finish my thought, the point being, if other people are, that means everyone is basically loaded. I mean, they've got their weapons. It just seems to me that more anarchy will start to take place. I don't know.
I don't know. I am with someone quite often that has the right to have a weapon, and I feel incredibly safe when that person's around. And there's just too many crazy things out there. And I had a situation, gosh, when Lindsay, my oldest, who's now 20, we were living down in San Diego, and we had, I was alone. My ex-husband's a Navy SEAL. He was, in Iraq at the time, and heard noises and realized that somebody was breaking in downstairs.
Wow.
And thank God I had a shotgun with me. And the 911 operator said, where's the gun? I said, in my hands. And he said, where are you? I said, I'm in my bedroom. He said, is the door locked? I said, yes. He goes, you hear anybody on the other side of that door, you start shooting.
Really?
He did.
Wow.
He said, you start shooting. And he said, unless I tell you that the police are there, you shoot. And I had the phone like this and the gun like this, and I was
Wow.
ready. But luckily the police got there in time, and there were 13 illegal aliens breaking into my home.
Really?
Yeah. So, you know, luckily the cops moved quickly, but had there not been one right there in the area, I would have had to have used my weapon, and if I had not, I would have been helpless. So,
Wow.
I can't
Well-
take down 13 men.
Right, right.
So,
Well, and I mean, it's a very interesting debate, and it's a very sad situation that went on in Colorado. You know, again, my home state, and Columbine came back up again, and as someone who attended Columbine High School, the whole thing just becomes very surreal, and to me, and it is difficult for all of us to comprehend what the heck is going on.
it's just, yeah. I mean, you definitely can't. I don't think you can blame the weapon. He had bombs set up in his home that was going to kill people.
Oh, right.
That had nothing to do with guns.
That's right.
So,
Great point.
And my mother told me a story. I didn't read this myself, but my mother told me that she had saw on the news that the neighbor had gone over to his apartment because she heard the music kept playing over and over, and it was really loud. And she put her hand on the door handle and thought, maybe not. Must have had a guardian angel on her shoulder or something.
I agree with that, but I'll take it one step further because I heard the interview with her, and she said that she actually, the door was slightly ajar, and she was starting to open it, and then something told her to stop. She literally said, something said to me, don't. And so she stopped what she was doing and turned and walked back downstairs. And it was set up so that if she would have gone in, from what I understand, if she would have gone in, bad things would have happened.
Yeah. So and that had nothing to do with guns. So again, I just think there should be certain criteria to get a gun, though. I don't think that he should be able to order all the stuff off the internet and so on. I mean, that was insane.
We shouldn't be selling these things off the internet because that's
No.
way too easy. And there's the steps to be able to get a gun need to be better enforced too, I think, as well.
And if you make it illegal, they're still going to get a hold of it. Drugs are illegal; people get a hold of them.
Right.
It's just the bad guys will have all the guns. And I know that people say that's not an accurate argument, but I mean you have to be realistic.
Yeah. And of course, the other big news over the weekend, actually on Monday, was the Penn State football team having the NCAA slap, if you will. And it was more than a slap. I mean, $60 million, several years where they're not bowl eligible and things like this. And I don't know, what do you think?
I don't think that there should be any punishments to players that are on that team. I think the punishment should come to the people that were in charge. The punishment should come to coach it, things, but to do anything to any of the players, they're innocent. I didn't even agree when the sanctions came down on USC for what had happened with Reggie Bush.
Right.
You got these kids coming in out of high school and then they can't go play in bowl games because of something Reggie Bush did. I mean, it doesn't make sense. I don't agree with the sanctions against them for that.
But one thing too that the bowl game situation does create is that there's extra money that is made by the university. And basically, I think what they are doing, what the NCAA is doing, is exactly what you are suggesting. $60 million is roughly equivalent to what the football team would bring into the university. So the people are not, the kids are not necessarily getting punished for that. The university is certainly getting punished because of their actions and
But they can't go to a bowl game, though.
But they cannot go to a bowl game, which of course, bowl games mean a lot of money.
Well, they should let them go to the bowl games and then take the money and give it to the victims. It's backwards.
Well,
It's totally
that makes
backwards.
sense. That would be a good one.
They're punishing the wrong people. And what do you think about the statue coming down? Because I think it's fabulous.
Yeah, something had to happen. It just tears me up though because Joe Paterno, the winningest coach in college football history. No. I'm with you. We're gonna fight. Nah. You'd like us to
Get
fight.
ready, guys. Here comes the fight.
Joe Paterno, the winningest coach in football history, and yeah, he should have said something. If he would have done something back when things were going on, then that would have. Look, you know how empathetic I am.
Right.
I feel bad for his family, and I feel bad that the legacy of Joe Paterno, the 80-plus years that he put in, and the multi-decades, better than half a century that he was there at Penn State. Now that's completely gone and washed away. And what about the 50-plus years that he was there, and all the great things that he did for the university, for the people that were of Pennsylvania, for the players who played for him, now all of that is completely tarnished because of, one, the actions of Sandusky, but then clearly they should have done something. The people who knew that things were going on, they should have stepped up and stopped.
Listen, if we have a lot of interns here, and we get a lot of high school kids, which are older than the age of the boys that were abused there at Penn State. But if someone came to me and said, hey, Tammy, I caught Dave doing this with one of these interns, male, female, whatever, I'm going straight to the cops.
Right.
I'm not going to my boss and then going, okay, wash my hands of it. I did
Right.
what I
Exactly.
needed to do. No,
Exactly.
we have to protect children.
Right, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
I think it's disgusting. And I think about my children, and I think,
So these things, it was appropriate for these things to happen. It was appropriate for Joe Pa to have his statue brought down. It was appropriate that the punishment was what it was. I know that you're upset that the bowl situation.
Why are
but
they?
Still,
why are the players? Why are the students? Why are they punished because this guy was a jackass and all these other people were jackasses? You're like, I think jack in front of that so I can get away with it. Why are the players? That's not fair. These kids have probably dreamed for years to go to Penn State and play football and maybe go to a bowl game, and now they're being punished because these adults allowed molestation and were so worried about protecting it.
Yeah, I think they're being punished, but I don't think they're. I don't think it's as bad. I don't think it's as bad as. I don't think the punishment is as bad against the players as you're making it out to be. I mean, they can't. Yes, you're right. They can't go to a bowl game, but they can still play. They can still. Represent and be able to play Big Ten college football.
They took away all the how many years of wins from them?
It was. I think it's close to 15. It goes back to the late 1990s.
I mean,
that puts Joe Paterno from number 1 to number 12 in the all-time list. But I think that's inconsequential. I think that has nothing to do with the kids that played in the game during those times. Yes, okay, on paper now it's been taken away, but they know that on the field what they did. Right. And still, they would have to be able to win the Big Ten, Big 12. Big 10, Big 12, whatever. They'd have to win their conference. They'd have to still become bowl eligible to be able to get to where they need to go. Mm-hmm. And so that's going to be a big challenge in front of Penn State right now, given everything that's going on. Just to be able to get to that point.
Really just goes right through me is every time they show Sandusky, he's got his head up, he's smiling, he's so cocky, and he's so arrogant, and I just want to beat the hell out of him.
I don't think he believes he did anything wrong. That's the thing. I mean, he talked about how much he loved being with kids. I really think that inside his mind, he does not believe he did anything wrong.
Oh, well, it'll be interesting to see what happens to him. But again, I don't ever.
He's going to have some things going on to him now.
I think that they're, and I know the NCAA had to do something, but I think that they should continue to let them play, bring in as much money as they can, and then take the money. Because that doesn't hurt the current students, the current players.
Right. Right. Well, no, I see what you're saying. I think that's actually not a bad idea, to let them play in a bowl, but then the money goes right to the NCAA, does not go to the school and further fines. That's actually not a bad idea.
But the NCAA, they make a lot of decisions I don't agree with. So.
Well, we have to do something. Of course, the death penalty, they talked about that. And if they would have done the death penalty, it would have possibly been the end of the Big Ten Conference.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
Okay, back in the 80s, Southern Methodist, SMU, the Mustangs, they had something go wrong, and the death penalty was football is over at SMU. That eventually led to the destruction of the Southwest Conference. What was the original one with Texas A&M, Texas Tech, not Oklahoma, Baylor. All of those schools ended up splitting apart because of that decision. So the NCAA said flat out, we're not going to let that happen to the Big Ten Conference, since Penn State is now a part of that.
Right.
And so they are enabling that to continue, but there is no death penalty for the football program.
Well, I don't think there should be.
No.
I mean, it wasn't. I don't know. I can go on forever.
Yeah, we can. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to go from this topic to puppy dogs. How about that? Nice, huh? How about that for a segue?
Oh, geez.
We've got Terry Hawk from the animal shelter is here, and she has Cheeks, right? Cheeks, yeah. Cheeks is on. So stay tuned.
Hi, I'm John Dean with Dean Safe Company. For the last 4 decades, the first 10 people I talk to every morning have just been robbed or burglarized.
I'm here to help. We have the largest selection of safes on the West Coast. We carry gun safes, pistol safes, burglary safes, fire safes, safes of all types designed for home and office. We will help you protect your valuables from fire and theft. We offer professional, discreet delivery. See it all on our website or give us a call, deansafe.com.
Are you ready for your close-up? You will be at Santa Clarita School of Performing Arts. We have classes for kids, teens, and adults in acting, modeling, improv, voiceover, singing, and recording. And Saturdays, you will have the chance to audition for some of LA's top agents. Everything you need to succeed in show business is here. Join our list of stars. Learn your craft at Santa Clarita School of Performing Arts.
Welcome back to SCV Today. So we are here with one of our favorite segments. We have got Terry Hawk with the Castaic Animal Shelter. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. You guys both made it look like I said that wrong.
No, you said it correctly.
Okay. Oh yeah, he's the one that gets the name wrong. Okay. Sorry. Okay.
Thank you, Betty.
We got Cheeks. Cheeks is here, and Cheeks is a 7-year-old
Labrador Retriever mix.
Hi.
Now, this is an interesting story. You were telling me in the green room just a little bit ago. Tell us the story of how you got Cheeks, because I want to make certain that people understand that Cheeks is a great dog.
Yes, he is. He's a fabulous dog. He came into our shelter on July the 5th. He was an owner surrender. His original owner had to apparently go out of town and did not return to come and pick his dog up from his friend that he left him with to watch him while he was out of town. So his owner, or the friend, could no longer keep him at that point, and he relinquished him over to us.
Yeah. So he's 7 years old. He's a Labrador mix. He's not that big for a Labrador mix. So I'm assuming that perhaps the other part of the equation from the Labrador was something a little smaller.
Yes, he is a medium-sized dog. And I'm not quite sure on his weight. I'm assuming he's probably about a 55, 60-pound dog. But we did take him to our off-site event at PetSmart, located on Golden Valley Road in Canyon Country, and he did get quite a bit of attention. He was quite the attraction at the event. He gets along very well with all dogs and loves people and children.
Well, he looks extremely healthy, and I know sometimes the dogs that you get there, they don't come in real healthy. He looks incredibly healthy.
Yes, as far as that we know, he has been seen by our veterinarian at our shelter, and he is healthy.
He looks like he was well taken care for, other than the fact that...
Yeah, apparently it's just a shame that I don't know what the dynamics were that changed in Cheek's life to where he winded up with us, but he loves to cuddle. He loves belly rubs tremendously, and he just wants to be by your side and give you love. And
belly rubs, right, pal?
And he's very well-rounded. I think as soon as the right person comes along his way, it's going to be a match.
So
match made in heaven.
At the shelter right now, are you guys pretty full? There are a lot of animals there right now up for adoption. How are the numbers looking right now?
We are full, and we are also extending our 9 lives for 9 to the end of August.
So explain to us again what that is about.
That's for an adult cat, to where you can adopt an adult cat that's anywhere from a year older for $9.
Wow.
And that was a program that I remember when you were on about a month or so ago with Claire Story. We were talking about that as a program that was going to go through July, and the county has decided to extend that through the end of August.
Yes, the county and the city shelters are extending that offer through the end of August. So we have quite a bit of wonderful cats at our location. So we're hoping to get some adult cats out there along with our four-legged.
And I want to point out that at the shelter, because I've heard so many people say, "Oh, I didn't see any cats." I don't think they realize that when you walk through where all of the dogs are, you go out the door and go into the next building, and that's where the cats are.
That's where
a lot of people don't realize that, because I've heard that so many times. Oh, I went there, they didn't have any cats. It was all dogs.
We do have signs posted on the premises.
You expect people to read? Come on.
Yeah. Some people just don't.
They just don't. They don't ask, and they. So that's a whole other thing I can go off on. But yeah, so it's important that people know that the cats are there. They're in the building back behind. So, well, Cheeks is absolutely adorable, and we will
Yeah.
go ahead and put the information
Thank
up on
you.
our website, as we always do. There's always a link to the website for all of the dogs in LA County. And we thank you so much for bringing
Thank
Cheeks
you
out
very
today,
much,
Terry.
Tammy and David. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Terry. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Okay, great.
And,
Thanks.
hopefully we can get fewer and fewer animals that are coming out to see us, right?
Yes,
That's
yes, that would
certainly
be
the objective.
wonderful.
And good luck with Cheeks.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to SCV Today. Well, Dave, we've had a great show. It's been a little controversial.
What was controversial?
Why can't I say that word?
Controversial?
Yeah, you say it for me.
Controversial.
Well, we kind of gave our opinions back and forth. That's always fun.
Well, you know, that's people have opinions.
Yeah.
And that's why it's great
Mine
to
are
live in
right
America.
and yours are wrong.
Here we go. Yeah, listen to this. Hey, on our next program, we are going to have a lesson in karate.
Yes, we
Yes?
are. Yes.
Okay.
I'm excited.
You're saying that I might have something kicked out of me. And I'm not allowed to say anymore.
Some of that girth, I guess.
That
we
girth.
talked about that Dave girth.
Yeah. No, that will never be kicked out of me. No.
And then we're also going to have Green.
Right, Rich Green from Green Nursery.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. That's
If
always
he
great.
remembers. Sorry, Rich, but you've forgotten twice. So if he remembers.
Come on, Rich, be on the show. Thanks for being with us, everybody. We hope you have a great day.